And welcome to this week's review of 310 to Yuma, starring Batman and Gladiator.
Showtime.
Hands up.
22 robberies, over $400,000 in losses.
Y'all notice he didn't mention any of the lives I've taken.
We will have Ben Wade convicted and hanged, and we will pay to make it happen. I'll come.
So, boys, where are we headed?
Taking to the 310 to Yuma day after tomorrow.
Shouldn't have told him that. Relax, friend. Now, if we get separated, I know what it made up.
He's a killer, Daniel.
And someone ought to have the decency to bring him to justice.
I want to come with you.
Well, you can.
What are you doing out here, Dan? You got a family to protect.
Don't talk to me like you know me, Wade. We ain't friends. I told you to stay home. I left home.
You turn around right now.
Your boy ain't protecting you. He's following me.
You say one more word, I'll cut you down right here.
I like this side of you, Dan.
You're so sure that your crew's coming to get you?
They're lost without him, like a pack of dogs without a master.
Where'd they take him?
I don't know. Get me out of here!
Sure as God's vengeance, they're coming.
I know that most of us are sick of seeing older movies being remade, but there can be some exceptions to that rule. I personally think that if a movie was made a really long time ago and most people under the age of 30 have never even heard of the original movie, then maybe it can be remade with a good director and a few good actors. Sometimes older movies don't translate well when being remade, but I'm happy to say that this movie did. The original 310 to Yuma was made in 1957 starring Glenn Ford and Van Heflin. This movie does start off on a really slow, deliberate pace, and some people may get fairly bored during the early stages of this film. But I don't mind this as long as the story builds properly, and this does just that. This movie does a good job with the development of all the main characters. I will say that both the casting and acting are excellent in this film, and what a cast. Having two solid leading men like Russell Crowe and Christian Bale is extremely important for the tension in this film. The supporting cast is solid as well, with Peter Fonda as well as Ben Foster, who is landing some decent roles as of late, and it will be interesting to see where his career goes from here. And what makes this movie work is the way you see Russell Crowe's character. He's a classic bad guy that sometimes doesn't seem so bad, and at other times he seems even worse. As most of you know, this is a movie set back in the Wild West, and this is a time when the East and the West were still building the railroads to connect the country. Now these movies are fairly few and far between. The most recent Western that I really liked was Tombstone, one of my personal favorites. 310 to Yuma does a good job of capturing the feel of the Wild West, and it gives you a look into the past that we don't get to see much of anymore. This movie does for the Wild West what Cinderella Man did for the years of the Great Depression. Most movies don't have the patience for this kind of deliberate pacing and character development, but when a movie does it right, the climax of the film is so much more interesting, and by the time the movie is coming close to an end, you really feel like you know all the players well and are very interested in seeing how this will all play out. I was pretty happy with this film all the way around, and I felt the ending capped off a very solid movie. And some of you may not like a slower paced movie, but this one is done very well and should satisfy most people to take the time to check it out. Overall, I would say it's a very solid effort, and this is one of the better remakes that I've seen in a while. And remember, even bad men love their mom. From overall rating, I give 310 to Yuma 4 stars.
Even bad men love their mamas.